Listen here, fuckers. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast should not be taken seriously. All jokes and banter are not meant to be taken up the ass. And no, you may not speak to my manager, so get back to not doing your homework or not doing your job and enjoy the Rolling Thick podcast.
Are you ready?
Question 3, are my brainwaves being watched?
Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Rolling Thick podcast. I'm your host. My name is Teddy.
And I'm Bunz.
And we're fucking episode 9, my dude. How you feel? Fucking give us a medal. Somebody give me a medal. I want a trophy. Damn it.
I'll take you a little star. You can get a gold star. We need I need a sign in the back that says...
I have a trophy, but it
says number 1 dad, doesn't it?
No, it says number 1 puppy.
Close.
Yeah.
Close.
So, it's been a couple of days because the last podcast we recorded it late because life's trying to stop us from podcasting, but we're like, nah, fam.
Yeah.
So, I don't really have like anything crazy that's happened. Besides they're actually cleaning the graffiti off the LA fucking skyscrapers, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's something.
Yeah.
The biggest fuck you ever.
Up.
Like,
and I remember seeing something on TikTok, but I didn't like it, and I didn't send it to you, so I can't. But I'm pretty sure it was interesting.
I saw a video real quick, briefly. It seemed like it was good.
Yeah, and we're fucking professionals, bruh. What were you saying? The whale? It was a gray
whale.
Gray whale. I'm gonna look it up while you explain what happened.
So there's this gray whale that they found in the Atlantic, and the reason why it's a big deal is because it's been extinct for 200 years, supposedly. Obviously not, because it didn't just show up. But yeah, like the person that saw it told their marine biologist partner, they told them, they're like, I don't even want to say out loud what I saw. I'm just gonna send you a picture because I can't believe it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so apparently gray whales are not extinct. Just extremely endangered.
They're just hiding from us because we'll make them go extinct.
So Lord only knows what else is out there, because gray whales were elusive for the last 200 years.
Dude, how did we not? This is the fucking biggest animal on the planet. How did we not spot them?
No, the blue whale is.
Yeah, but he's right next to it. It's not. It's like saying like, oh, he's not the biggest because he's only 5-year-old.
What's the size difference between a blue whale and a gray whale?
Let's find out. Shit. Help us, Google.
I thought you had it pulled up.
No, I have the gray whale information, but like, so the blue whales are 80 to 100 feet, and then the gray whales 30 to 45 feet. Also, it's half a whale, but still, that's still fucking 3 buses.
Is it 3? I guess that makes sense.
Nah, it's probably like 1.5 buses. I know
I don't know. The ocean's huge, though, so Lord only knows what else we're not seeing or finding.
Whoa. Yeah, the blue whale's the biggest, and then it's the finback. Yep, it's a sperm whale, which is a hilarious name.
Yeah.
And then the right whale, the left whale, the middle whale.
No, I was like, excuse me. Oh
no, it's because there's actually a whale called the right whale.
Is there?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been in school.
Wait, don't orcas kill whales for fun? It's like a third of its size. God damn.
I think orcas kill everything.
Yeah, orcas are the bullies of the ocean.
Orcas are like whales that are sharks. I mean, I know there's a whale shark, but I feel like orcas should be whale sharks.
I feel like we need to change the name of a whale shark because it's like so timid and like
I know it sounds terrifying.
yeah, it sounds fucking. Then it opens up his fucking its fucking gaper.
Finding
Sucks
Dory
up-
made whale sharks not scary anymore.
Yeah.
Thanks, Destiny.
Uh,
They're just blind little sharks with spots.
it's your destiny, Destiny.
Echolocation.
No, but that's crazy. That's crazy. See, the gray whale is like about a bus and a half in length.
Okay.
That's like two and a half. Anyways, that's crazy because it just makes you like fear the ocean more, because where the fuck do you put a bus in the water and not see it?
Apparently, a lot of places.
That's crazy. Do you think there's like islands and stuff that are off the map?
Oh yeah,
It has
definitely.
to be, right?
Well, I would think islands would be a little bit harder to not find, just because one, they're on the surface, and two, satellites. Three, people are bored.
They're bored.
People go through and look on Google Maps all the time and look at the Earth and see what they can find. And I think there's people that do that for a living in a way.
Yeah, like when
I don't know.
people find like anomalies like on Mars.
Exactly. So I'm sure there's a ton we haven't. I mean, there's that whole island of people that are still untouchables.
Oh,
I
they're
guess
still like in the
is
Stone Age.
yeah, like we
that's
can't
crazy.
go visit them because they'll murder you. First of all,
Imagine
second of all,
what they think when they see a plane fly by.
I mean, they probably know. I don't think they sit there and go, "Ooh." I think they're just like, "Heh,
Sky Dragon.
there's
That shit.
a sky dragon." Nah, I just feel like, yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff we haven't found or discovered yet.
We don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, and aliens are probably just dropping shit, going, this will reproduce something cool.
And
We'll
then-
give the humans something to look at.
And then the
They'll find it.
comes along the cephalopod.
Something like that. But yeah, that's
they-
my interesting thing for the day, week.
No, that is crazy. Like I'm not trying to downplay it, because it's like, how do you deem something extinct and it walks by in frame like, what's up, guys?
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
And I'd like to know how old it is. Like, how long has it
that's
been
true.
living?
That's true. Because like, what if
And
it's
like,
still young?
were they able to tag it, or are they just following it? And how do you follow a whale if it doesn't have a tag?
Yeah, you
know?
gotta tag it for sure.
So hopefully they figure something out, because it'll be interesting to see. Maybe we'll find a whole pod of them. I don't know.
That'd
If
be
they
great.
travel in pods, even. Who knows? We'll find out. Stay tuned. We have to dive back into our deep sea creatures one of these days.
Oh, dude, I like that episode. I'm down. Down.
Oh, but yeah.
Today we're doing awake during surgery. Dude.
Yes.
I
There's lots of.
Yeah, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this topic because somebody was telling me that they were getting something that, because I know like when you have like a C-section, like you're not technically like out. You're still,
No, you're not. You're wide awake.
Yeah, you're wide awake, and I know for brain surgery you're wide awake.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a story where somebody they were like partially awake. They were like paralyzed and they could feel everything.
By choice or by accident?
By accident. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like it wasn't enough, but it was just enough where like the body didn't work. But but they could feel everything. So they felt like the whole surgery, like not the whole surgery, but they felt parts of the surgery when they were doing it. But he couldn't like react because he was still like
that terrifies
paralyzed.
me.
That is because oh man, imagine feeling everything.
Well, because see, when I had it was my second child. Like they gave me, was it? No, it was my first. It was Elisa because I had the epidural because I was trying to do, the normal birth. Uh, but I had the epidural for quite a few hours. And towards the end, when we started realizing there was an actual emergency and I had to have a C-section, like I was starting to get feeling on only one side of my body.
Oh, fuck.
And I wasn't going to say anything because, again, I was like, I didn't know there was an emergency at the time. So I was like, well, it'll be fine. It's only one half that hurts really bad. The other half is fine. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, I can push this baby out and I'm only going to feel pain on one side. So it's okay.
Yeah.
And then when they were like, no, my doctor gave me the option of a C-section or not. And after I weighed the pros and cons and I realized what was going on, it's like, nah, I'd rather you hurt me and get my baby out safe and not risk needing forceps and shit. So anyways, as they're getting ready to like wheel me back, my brain, I was exhausted. I'd already been in labor for like 12 hours at that point.
Ugh.
And I told the nurse, I'm like, I don't know if this is a problem, but I can feel everything on one side. She's like, oh, yeah, that's not good. We need to redo your epidural. And I was like, oh, glad I said. So I don't like complaining. So I really didn't want to say nothing. But I was really terrified that I was like, dude, if you don't say something, you're going to really regret it when you get in there.
It's a safety thing, right? So you don't your body doesn't move around.
Well, your body can't move. Like, I literally remember, because both my kids ended up being C-sections because after the first one. But anyway, I remember sitting there and going, I could see my leg, and my leg like fell off the table at one point when they were prepping me. And I was like, I could see it fall. And my brain was like, put it back up. And I'm telling my foot to move, and it doesn't.
It doesn't. No, but that's when you're under the epidural. But if it doesn't work, then you can't feel it, right?
Yeah. Then I could feel it, but if it were to wear off. See, when I could feel all the pain, I still couldn't move that leg.
Oh, damn, that's the one that's like you just feel it.
Yeah.
Can't move.
Yeah. So I could feel everything, but I couldn't move anything.
That's crazy.
So I can only imagine what it's like when you're getting an actual, like the anesthetic that goes like through and is supposed to like paralyze your whole body. Because an epidural only paralyzes from, up here and down, up here. Like they can see what I'm saying. From basically the chest down, because you can usually move your arms because they strap your arms in. Like they tie your arms to the table. Which is a little terrifying. But
it's so medieval.
No, my arms were like strapped to the table like this while my child was being birthed. And that is a safety thing, because if I could start to feel and I start like swinging,
you start
not good when your guts are out. But I forgot where I was going with this. Whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, you don't like complaining.
Yeah, you don't always speak up. But yeah, I could only imagine if you're completely paralyzed, but you can still have your brain working.
Yeah.
And you couldn't move a single thing.
You can feel it, yeah.
That
your brain
would be,
can still feel it.
Your brain can feel it and everything.
It's funny because I had dental surgery just like not too long ago, the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And I had a what the fuck do they call it? Inset or I don't know. From what I felt, like I used my tongue to feel what the fuck was going on. They fucking removed like half of my tooth, like yeah. And then they shoved something in there. But so the dentist, the doctor, the dentist, he was like, do you want to numb it or whatever it's called? What's it called? Anesthesia?
Yeah, local anesthetic.
Yeah, and I was like, "Were you gonna charge me for it?" They're like, "Yeah, it's gonna go on your bill," and I was like, "Nah, just do it like that." Like, you sure? I was like, "If you're giving me an option, that means it's the pain isn't gonna be that bad where I can fuck that." That's what I thought in my head, right? Like, if it's an option, then it's doable, and I'll just fucking bear it, whatever, right? But like, your mouth is so fucking sensitive when your teeth are in there.
Yeah.
Like, and so they removed the temporary thing, right? And as soon as the breeze came in, like it just got like a pain from like my jaw all the way to like the back of my head, just. And I remember like same. I don't like complaining. So I had already made my choice. So I'm like, I made my bed. I'm gonna lay in it, right? So I just let them continue, and then like at the end, they're like, "How do you feel?" I was like, next time, just fucking shoot whatever you need to fucking put in there, because that shit fucking hurt.
Why didn't you say something?
Because they were already in there, and I remember.
Don't care. I would have tapped out. It takes 2 seconds to shoot some lidocaine in there, and you're numb in like 3 minutes.
I remember the nurse was laughing. She's like, "You're funny." I was like, "Next time, I'm taking the shot." That was. She's like, he's like, "You want me to know?" Oh, but that one's because I had a root canal right here on this tooth.
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to? And he's like, "Oh, no, you're not gonna feel that one because they already killed all the nerves."
Like, oh, that's cool. Thanks.
Like, oh, you're not gonna feel that one. He's just fucking going because you can feel like them pressing, but you can't feel like the pain.
Oh, I know. I had a dentist. I was young. I was probably 11, maybe 12. Yeah, I was in like 5th. I think it was probably 6th grade, and I had to have some teeth pulled because my mouth is too small for all the teeth I had.
Pulling teeth is so medieval. Like, it's 2024.
I know. So I had them pulled. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is they like knock kids out now for teeth pulling because my oldest had to have some teeth pulled because she's got the same problem. They don't knock her completely out, but they like gave her gas and everything. For me, the dentist just numbed me up and then like yanked that shit out. The problem was it pretty much, my jaw got locked in place because they had my mouth open. Some of the teeth were so stuck that he was like pulling on my jaw down. And he was like I couldn't close my mouth.
Yeah.
But me, being the quiet child I was, didn't tell him I couldn't shut my mouth. I did. I sat there and literally, I did. And eventually, well, because they weren't done. Like, I think I had to have like 8 teeth pulled. Like, I only have like 1 or 2 molars, really.
Damn.
But I have a small mouth, okay? Okay. But anyway,
I'm over here like I don't even need my wisdom teeth pulled out because my mouth is so huge. It's just like I had 8 removed.
Yeah, I've had.
Like
I literally had. I've had. I think 2 molars on each side have been pulled. Plus, that includes my wisdom teeth, though. But that's not the point. The point is I didn't want to say anything, and I should have. But literally for the next probably 15 years, it's only recently been to a point where like I can't necessarily pop my jaw, but I used to be able to make my jaw crack every time I opened it. And I guess that's not normal. I probably wore the bone down. That's why it doesn't crack anymore. But I'm like it was a real popping noise. Yeah. Like it would pop, like, you know how you crack your knuckles and stuff? I could do that with my jaw.
What the fuck?
It would freak people out. They'd be like,
okay, so now the teeth pulling, did that hurt? Because I've never had a teeth.
I felt the pressure, and I could hear the like squishing of the blood going around. Yeah, and then it.
Because I need a bridge. I need 2 teeth pulled and a bridge on both of them, and I'm just like,
yeah, no, the teeth pulling didn't hurt, just the pressure.
So they shoot just you, and then they just. You can feel like
they
shoot
you and they let it. Yeah, and they let it numb up for a bit. Yeah, I got a crown, and that didn't hurt too bad.
Yeah, the crown.
It was annoying.
The root canals. They tell you it hurts. It's just really like
takes forever.
I know, and then they're like
crazy how much time has changed dental work. Like how it used to be when we were kids and how it is now. Like I said, they like give my children gas and all sorts of medications to help them. But they have these things you put in and they like hold your mouth open for you.
Oh yeah. And then they wrap around that one tooth they're working on.
Yeah, exactly.
You just sit there like you fucking jaw.
Exactly. Yeah. But when we were kids, like when I would go to the dentist, there's like a full-on dam in my mouth, and my jaw would get so tired holding my mouth open. The dentist would be like, "Open wider, don't bite me." Yeah. And now they have that they put in, so you can literally just relax.
Relax. Yeah.
Just turn on your music and close your eyes. Like the dentist I went to before I moved here was so nice. Like I didn't have to do anything. I could just lay there with my music on and my mouth open, and he and the dental hygienist were just talking back and forth about whatever TV shows they've been watching and their kids, and I'm just like, go for it, just yeah. Get it done.
Can you get my cuticles?
Didn't have to do nothing. I know. I was just like, man, why didn't they have all these things when I was little?
I remember when I was little, the dentist assistant walked away for like 20 seconds, and I was just like fucking drooling all over myself. It just sucked. But yeah. But like major surgery, like to be aware of like I have some stories. Let me pull out some of these.
Okay, I have something that I heard recently on TikTok while you're pulling up your stories, and I don't want to say it's not true because it probably does happen, but I haven't checked any sources to see where these things have actually taken place and what cases and court cases are open about it. But this lady found out that women that go under like anesthesia and get prepped for surgery, they apparently let doctors, not doctors, but med students that are going to be doctors practice gynecological exams on them.
That sounds illegal.
Well, it is. It's very illegal if that's true. But yeah, there's like, I guess there's like, again, don't quote me on it because it's just from TikTok. I didn't deep dive into it because, quite frankly, I don't really want to know.
Yeah,
that's horrifying in and of itself. But yeah, there's apparently that's a thing.
That's so.
And then there's the other creepy shit that happens when you're going on like in the surgery room. You know, because you hear like, oh, our doctors like listen to music or whatever. Because I mean, that's their job. They're just sitting there, you know, fixing your heart or whatever, and listening to Metallica or whatnot, because that's what they do. But there's this other story that I saw on the TikTok app that this one hospital has a surgeon that was literally like screaming and yelling at people and throwing things in the operating room and just getting completely pissed off and unhinged. And I can't remember specifically if he was like escorted out or whatnot, but he did get taken to jail. I'm pretty sure they released him on $100,000 bond. The hospital had him come back to work.
What the fuck?
After he was like putting like nurses and patients in danger because patients were on the table while some of these instances were happening, like on the table and completely under.
Here I go with my questions with no answer. Why was he throwing a bitch fit? Like, what was?
Just if anything, you know, like when people get pissed off when shit's not going their way, he probably.
So it was just like his whole like people just knew he was like that.
Yeah, he was just. It was just accepted.
I thought he was having like a fucking meltdown or something.
No, it was just his normal, was just to scream and yell at people. And it was interesting reading the comments because this person is a very prolific TikToker. Like they have millions of followers. And there was people in the comments going, I actually had a consult with this doctor, or my mom's a patient of this doctor, or I was supposed to be going into surgery with this doctor. I had no idea. Yeah, like some people knew him. Like she put him on blast because like, and she's like, maybe don't do shit if you don't want to.
Yeah, stay professional to keep your professional job.
like hospital, you have no business letting this man come back.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
That's fucking crazy.
No. So,
I mean, but I get it. Doctors are humans too, but.
One incident, if it was like a one-time thing, I could maybe see it.
Yeah.
But this was a constant.
Yeah, he's just a piece of shit.
Basically, yeah. And it's just like, ugh. But how do you feel about being electively awake during your surgery? Because that's a thing too. Like
they numb everything and they keep you awake.
They basically do kind of like what they do for
dental.
Well, no. No. You're right. It's a local. It's like they just numb the area that they're doing surgery on. There's this doctor. There's a whole series on it. I think it's probably on TLC. I'm just gonna assume it's on TLC, just like Dr. Pimple Popper and the chiropractor and all those people.
Yeah.
But there's this doctor, plastic surgeon specifically, and she does mainly liposuctions on people, but she keeps them awake and she talks to them throughout the whole surgery, and she just numbs the area that she's. And so the patients will actually get up and look in the mirror, almost like when you're getting a tattoo and you go and check it out in the mirror. So the patients will get up and look in the mirror and go like, yeah, you know what, maybe take a little more like from here, or literally like, it's freaking
that's insane.
crazy.
I mean, if it's gonna save me some money,
I don't think it saves you money. It's really just about, people don't have there's not the like when you go in for surgery, you have to have a recovery time and things like that. You have to sit in the recovery. Anesthesia in of itself always carries the risk of death. You literally sign a waiver saying, I understand I might not wake up.
That's true. I was reading that on the Reddit posts.
So like people,
and that's why people wake up during the surgeries, because it's not a complete science. Like, oh, he weighs this much and he's this old and he's this tall. He used this much.
Yeah,
there's
this thing about like natural redheads. Like, don't take to anesthesia. They always need more.
They have no souls. They gotta fucking.
Don't say that. But yes, there's something about.
He doesn't have a soul. Crank that shit up. Just.
They'll be fine. There's something about people with the red hair trait that's known to need more anesthetic than your average person.
Imagine just a big ass Viking dude. It's not going to work.
Try your best.
I eat a bowl of that for breakfast. That's funny. But yeah, like there's not exact science, so it's kind of just like count to 10, and if you don't pass out, we're gonna crank it up. Let's go. Like they don't know. They have no idea. They just know it passes you out. They can fucking open your chest up for 4 hours.
Basically.
That's intense. Oh my god.
But then there's the horror stories of people that aren't choosing to be awake, so we can go with those now.
I think if one of them had to happen to me, I would want to wake up and not feel nothing. Like some of the people on these stories, where they wake up and they can see what's going on, but they don't feel it, right? Because it's numb and paralyzed or whatever. But then there's the opposite, where people wake up, feel everything, but they can't move. They can't communicate that they can feel it.
Yeah.
And they go through surgery of like hours and hours of being cut.
That would be
and stuff.
So.
But I have this thing where it's like, it usually pisses people off because it's like, it doesn't matter how much it hurts, because then you can't fully remember the pain. You know what I mean? Like it's you can't see, you're already like,
well, yeah. No, I know it. I know what you're saying. I was thinking about it, processing it. But I think what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, there's the people that, can wake up and feel everything, and then they remember that they felt everything.
Yeah.
But then there's people that stay asleep the whole time. It goes perfectly normal. Your body still felt everything. You just don't remember it.
Remember it, yeah.
But your body still experienced and went through. I feel like we've talked about this before.
Doesn't it feel it's really
feels
familiar?
Like we've talked. This feels familiar.
We've done too many episodes. But like, I don't know. So I'd rather just wake up and not feel nothing and just be like, oh, dude, I saw my guts. It was crazy.
Oh, my God. Yes. I would much rather. I was actually hoping that they would put I wish there was a mirror on the ceiling while I'm having my C-section so I could watch it, but I'm weird like that. Because they don't let you watch. They put up a sheet.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I want to see it all.
I think that's for the doctors. Because if they see that you're panicking, then they panic. Because the blood and everything, they're desensitized to that. But like a patient freaking out, it's like a lot of doctors leave the room and leave it to the nurses, because they're the ones that deal with the patients. Like,
I could see that, because when my kids freak out, I just want to leave.
Those aren't mine.
I don't want to deal with it. Like, pass.
Oh shit.
Someone else can take care of this panic. Like, I'm good. I always felt like it was in case there was an emergency with the baby. They didn't want mom to panic, because then mom's heart rate's gonna go up. Mom's gonna start bleeding. Like, there's so many things that could go wrong. Like I remember when I was having my last child, because there was we had to have her delivered early. There was like a bunch of different things that could have go wrong that would have resulted in her not being alive when she was born. And like, so the whole time I was already panicking. And then I remember when she got out, when they took her out, she was crying. I'm like, okay, she's okay. Now I just need them to sew me up so I don't die. Like the whole thing I was thinking, like, okay, I just need to stay alive now. Breathe. We're okay. Like, even though, like, I knew everything was fine.
Everything's back to where it needs to be.
I was comfortable. Like, I loved my doctor. He was amazing. But still, in my mind, I'm just like, I just have to survive.
I have a question. So, like, the C-section, they open you up and they don't remove it. They move over, like, your intestines and organs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they put everything back together, can you feel that they moved all that stuff around? Like,
honestly, you're in so much pain, you just feel pain.
But, like, okay, so, because you, like, I've had, like, liver pain and kidney pain, right? And I can feel where on my body that pain is.
Yeah.
Is it the same as that? Like, where you could feel like it's been tampered with? Like,
I honestly don't know, because when they cut in to go do the C-sections, you have to, like, when you have a baby, there's so many things hurt.
Yeah.
Even as a C-section, I couldn't talk for a natural birth because I've never had the privilege of experiencing that. But like, so for a C-section, they have to cut through all the tissue, all the muscles, everything.
Yeah.
They have to like smush. Your organs are already all smushed around because your uterus is the size of a freaking baseball field.
Yeah.
But so everything's already not where it's supposed to be to begin with. But after they put you all back together, literally everything hurts because your milk's coming in. You're dealing like from this major, massive surgery, and just everything that. Honestly, and then your uterus also continues to contract. So you have not only does that hurt, but it's hurt, but you also have this massive incision that you're dealing with
across
on your uterus.
Yeah.
And it just even on the uterus, because the uterus is an organ.
They have to open it up. Oh, damn.
And you get period cramps and everything. So your uterus is contracting hard. Like you continue to have those contractions while your uterus shrinks. And you have nurses coming in and pushing on your stomach every like hour. Pushing on your uterus to make sure it's contracting and you're getting all that.
Dude, I'm so glad I have a penis because goddamn.
So there's and then again, the whole like your milk's coming in every time your baby cries. It feels like someone's stabbing your tits. It sucks.
So there's no
my
time.
Boobs. Like I grab my boobs just thinking about it. Like if I was ever to have another baby, that is the one thing I'm not looking forward to. Is that the milk coming in is like I'll take the C-section pain any day, but the titty pain. I mean, they look fantastic. However,
that's funny.
No,
I was always curious about that. But that makes sense.
So I don't know if you can feel where shit's at because nothing's where it's supposed to be to begin with.
Yeah, that's like if you break your leg, and like, no, where did I see that major pain? When he breaks that fool's finger so he doesn't feel the gunshot.
Yeah.
Like it's too much pain for you to differentiate like where exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Break the fingers.
Yeah.
There you go. It's all better now. Have I tell you about the little engine that could?
It's a great movie.
Chugga 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 chugga.
Okay, great.
I do see some movies sometimes.
That one's a great. Not a lot of people like know that movie because it was old when I was young already. Like, you know what I mean? It was an old movie when I was young.
It wasn't old when I was young.
It wasn't new though.
I don't remember. When did it come out?
I have no idea. I'll Google it real quick.
Because I feel like it wasn't old. I don't think.
1995.
Yeah, I was like 10.
I was 2.
So it wasn't. Yeah, I probably saw it when it came out.
It's a great movie.
It is. It wasn't.
But some of these stories they're like I said, they wake up and they can't feel it. But the doctor still gets concerned because you can freak out, right? You can have like
Oh yeah, your body will like
This guy said I woke up when they were removing the small bone from my foot that was broken. Remember feeling them poking around my foot, so I decided to take a look. Remember seeing the incision, and just then the nurse noticing me with my head up. She just lightly pushed my head down, told me to close my eyes, and the next thing I knew, I was in the recovery room. Knocked you out. It probably happened a couple times. You just remembered it once.
I just imagine them going, "Shh, it's okay. Go to sleep."
It's just like everybody's like. It's funny because they wear like blue or yellow, like fucking.
Yeah,
PPE.
they're like PPE gear, basically.
So like you just wake up and this is the doctor with his fucking headlight, and it's just the nurse like, shh.
Don't tell the doctor.
Fucking fair.
That'd be like so weird and creepy.
Yeah.
But also amazing at the same time.
Oh, just imagine back in the days where everything, like their PPE was all cloth and white, and just fucking gives like this ambience of like, it just gives me the chills. But now it's all like blue and orange, and but that's on them. So I woke up while they were putting a metal plate in my arm. They used a block with basically made my entire shoulder and to my hand numb. When I woke up, I could remember hearing the drill and the slight pressure on my arm they were working on, and I just said, "This is awesome." Followed shortly by somebody saying, "Oops," and quickly went back to sleep. What a good sense of humor.
Thank God they gave him a nerve block. That's why he didn't have to feel anything.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.
It was like a fucking scary movie scene. Just this is awesome.
I have this one where this person like woke up during their colonoscopy. Which I feel like if I was going to wake up during anything, I would prefer it be like a colonoscopy and nothing like major.
6 of those fucking stories.
And the person was like, other than feeling like a lot of shit being pushed through their nether region, they asked him, they're like, "Please stop." And
Please
both
stop.
the nurses and doctors just looked at him with their eyes like,
just bug-eyed, like,
and
oh
then
my God.
and that's the last thing they remember. But he said like he slept for like 24 hours because they basically gave him a whole other dose of anesthetic. So he had to recover for a while.
Please don't sue us. Please don't sue us.
Basically, yeah.
That's what scares the nurses. Like, oh fuck. But it's. I feel like it's something you should like take into consideration.
I always take it into consideration.
This was funny too. Woke up during a rotary cuff surgery. What is that? It's like your shoulder, right?
Shoulder. Yeah.
Because I looked up at the doctor, blinked a couple times from the light, and he looked at me and said, "Just finish your nap. You were almost done."
Just finish your nap. Almost.
Woke up in recovery 2 hours later. Just some of these injuries, just like
this one. Woke up during a root canal. Speaking of dental work,
that's because they have to kill the nerves.
Yeah. So what he did though is he grabbed the dentist's hand. This freaked the fucking dentist out.
I bet.
He said he's like the dentist ended up screaming and yelling for the nurse to like obviously
he has to re-sterilize, right? Like
probably. But then he's like, after I was done, I was fully awake. The doctor told him he was the first patient to wake up in his 15 years of dental work. It scared the shit out of him. Could you imagine your patient's been like dead asleep and you're just minding your business, doing your thing, and all of a sudden just this hand grabs you?
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck? I would have punched that fool right in his tooth.
I remember when I was little, I just thought about that. I mean, I haven't had that experience, but I know like they were worried about me having it because there's a thing, because like when you go in for surgery and anesthesia, you're not supposed to eat or drink anything for like 12 hours before, just so you don't accidentally aspirate or die.
Yeah.
Because the medicine they give you can make you really nauseous. Anyway, after I'd had my tonsils out, I had to go in for emergency surgery because something happened and they were just nonstop bleeding. Like I lost a ton of blood. They almost gave me a blood transfusion. Because again, I didn't want to tell my mom that something was wrong. So clearly I'm just going to die one of these days. Because my anxiety won't let me tell anybody that things are wrong. Anyways, got to the emergency room. They were like, yeah, we're not going to be able to stop the bleeding, so we need to get her into surgery. I'd just eaten. So they're like, we have to put her under, but we can't give her the normal dose.
Oh.
We have to give her a lesser of a dose. So she's only going to be slightly asleep. But she'll still be able. So I was like half asleep, half a not. And the doctor told me this story when I came out of recovery. He was like, yeah, you did good. Everything's fine. He's like, it was a little funny though, because they asked me to open my mouth. Like I was alert enough to listen to commands and do stuff. They said open wide. I opened my eyeballs, not my mouth.
That's fucking hilarious.
So I've had surgery where I guess I was awake, but I remember nothing. Because they thought I would actually remember that because I was so alert.
Yeah.
But I got no memory. But it was at the hospital my dad worked at. So like everybody knew me. But yeah, so that was, I forgot I had that little nugget of a story.
Why? Me mugger, the fuck.
Basically, what's up? I think I was in seventh grade. Yeah, just going into 7th. Oh, so I was Elise's age. Huh. Anyway, yeah. There's that little tidbit.
Oh my god, some of these injuries. I had to have a rib removed after an accident, and they go in through the armpit. I woke up and I could feel their hand inside of my chest, and it felt horrible pain. Ooh, I just said ow, and the doctor screamed, "Why the fuck is you away?" Put him under, goddamn it! It took a few seconds, and I felt the warm wash over my body again, and I went back out. That's crazy.
Oh, those blankets they put on you when you're first going into the operating room is the best. They're so toasty. It's like, you want a blankie? Yes, please. Always.
I want a weighted blanket.
Oh, me too. I used to have one, but then I returned it because I don't remember why. There's not one heavy enough, to be honest with you. They only come in like 10 or 15 pounds. I need one that's like 45.
Get like 3 of them, stitch them together. Get like 3 of them, stitch them together.
I mean, honestly, I'd like it to be the weight of a full person. So like 200 pounds would be ideal. But that doesn't exist. Apparently, that's... I mean, not gonna lie. Yes, I ask for that often. Like, can you just crush me for like 5 to 10 minutes? I don't know. It's just that having that extra weight and not being able to move is just so comforting.
It probably feels like being swaddled.
Maybe it's just relaxing, and I don't know what it is. But again, they won't ever sell 200-pound weighted blankets. So.
Just get a rug and wet it.
I feel like that'd probably be a bad idea because if I decide I need to get out because I can't breathe, I can't
explode.
There's only a short window of time where I have the energy to get out, or I'm dead. So, there's that.
You won't die. Oh yeah, you will die.
If you have like 200 pounds just sitting on you, at least a human can move. They don't have to. They could just stay there and kill you. But a weighted blanket, it's not going to move on its own. So
that's true.
But yeah, that's on my wish list that I have. One day I'll get one. One day, not a 200-pound one, but like 25 pounds. 25 pounds would be good. There's this one story. This person woke up during surgery and they heard they weren't in pain and they weren't like fully awake, but they had enough like awareness that they could feel like probably the same pressure and feeling that you get when you're having any type of surgery if you were awake and they just numbed you. But they heard them talking about buying vintage lunchboxes on eBay.
Just
like they just woke up during their casual like conversation during this operation. I don't know what operation they're having. They didn't specify.
That's fucking funny. It's like they're just like inside of your body. It's like, hey Phil, you know I found that one lunchbox on eBay?
Yes, exactly.
Oh really? They were gonna get it.
The anesthesiologist like looked over and noticed that their eyes were open. Yeah, basically like, and then they remembered waking up when they were on their way to recovery after that. Like, can you imagine just hearing just this normal office banter, basically, while you're having your total inside.
Just like what do they call it? Water fountain or like
yeah. Oh, the water cooler conversations.
Water cooler combos. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like your chest is wide open. No, Phil,
yes.
Is that right?
Oh, I have a red jean hair story. See? It's a real thing. Yeah. So I'll just read it. Let me see how long it is. Here we go. I chose to be sedated and knocked out for an endoscope when I was 17. I believe that's the one that goes down your throat to like look at your esophagus and your stomach. They were 17. This was the first time I'd ever been put under, and it didn't go so well. I now know that I have the gene red-haired and pale people get that causes us to metabolize narcotics and sedation differently. Basically, it takes more drugs to knock me out. The sedation they gave me put me out for about 10 minutes. I woke up suddenly and violently during the procedure. I started kicking and punching and trying to pull out the endoscope. The doctor and nurse tried to hold me down, but I kept fighting them. At the time, I just remember thinking, why are they so upset? I'm just laying here doing nothing. They had to give me a ton more sedative to put me out again. A couple months later, when I had my wisdom teeth out at the hospital, they did the whole breathe deeply and count back from 100 thing. I got down to about 65 when they realized they needed to administer more. They said I took more than most grown adults.
That's crazy.
Usually when they have you count back from 100, you don't get to 95.
Yeah.
So the fact they let him keep going after 85...
So 54, 53, 2. That's funny.
Oh my god!
But you would think that the doctors would take that into consideration when a redhead comes in, right? Like,
though, doctors don't even think the cervix has nerve endings, so I don't have a whole lot of faith in them understanding anything about people that are different. Like they are so by the textbook.
Yeah, that's what my mom says too. I remember one time I asked my doctor if I can get sick if I walked around barefoot, like my mom always said.
Yeah.
And then like, no. Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, that's what my mom said.
You can too.
No,
There's certain parasites in the ground that they can get in through your feet. I've Googled it. It's called like hookworms or something.
Hookworm?
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to Google it because I know. Hold on. You can get a parasite from walking around barefoot because it's found in like animal feces.
But you can't get like a cold or strep throat.
Well, no, just like people say like all the time. I remember when I lived in Virginia, I would be outside with my youngest as a baby, waiting for the bus stop with my oldest, and people would be like, "Oh, just go take you and the baby need to go inside. That baby's gonna catch cold."
Yeah,
like, it's just rain.
Yeah,
she's bundled. We're fine. She's like, "Nah, she's gonna catch cold." I'm like, that's not.
Why are you sick? You sneezing over here?
I know exactly.
That's not how that works.
But a lot of people still believe that just getting cold will give you a cold.
Yeah, and that's what my mom was saying that.
Hookworm infections is mainly acquired walking around barefoot on contaminated soil.
Okay, but that's a parasite.
It still makes you sick. Some have gastrointestinal symptoms. Some have no symptoms. Yeah, you get sick, but you don't necessarily know you have worms. Whatever. Fine, go walk around barefoot, get worms in your feet. Go for it, have fun.
Parasites is something different.
But it makes
parasites
you
like
feel
you can get them anywhere doing anything. You just pee in the pool wrong, just get a parasite. Like that's not what I'm saying. My mom was talking about like a cold, like a common cold.
Are you sure?
That's yes. Oh,
okay.
Yes. You get a cold. Put some socks on. Don't go out with your hair fucking wet. You're gonna get a cold. Everything.
Oh yeah, going out with your hair wet. Ugh.
I was like, I'll probably get mold in my hair, but it's like if I put it up.
I was more thinking it would get frozen. You could like snap it, but that's because I grew up in cold climates, not warm ones.
In Southern California.
I know. No, mold makes more sense for you. Frozen hair makes more sense for me. Oh, that's my cord. But yeah, I had something else I was going to add. Now I don't remember. Whatevs. It's fine. I'll remember it eventually, but it won't be relevant anymore. So, got that. Ugh. Ooh, this person woke up during a gastric bypass. They couldn't hear anything and knew my eyes were taped shut. Oh, they taped his eyes shut. It's like, nah, we don't want to know if you wake up. The only thing I could think to do was move my hands as I could feel the restraint. I started rolling my hands as much as possible, and that was it. I had gallstones the size of golf balls in my gallbladder, broke my leg during roller derby, and walked on it to take myself to the hospital and got almost 8 centimeters dilated before I requested an epidural. Waking up during surgery is my 10. Nothing has come close to that pain. Huh. That would scare the piss out of me. I really don't pass.
I'm so glad I haven't had to add like any major surgery.
I don't understand why they would. I understand the whole like taping their arms down just in case they wake up, but taping the eyes shut, that's like sign number 1 that shit ain't working. You know?
I don't know, because like you said, your body starts reacting in a negative way if you see.
Well, I know, but like if I could open my eyes, I could see them closing them, and then if I open them again or I start blinking rapidly, they know that it's not just my body being weird. You know, there's not a whole lot of harm that's going to come from maybe bumping up that little dose of medicine a smidge, just to make sure. I'm not a professional in that field, obviously.
That's crazy. Oh my god. Some of the comments.
I had 4 wisdom teeth removed, all impacted. Funny thing was, I counted all the way to 10, looked at the doctor, and said, is this it? The doctor was shocked, nodded for another hit, and I managed to count to 7. I woke up during the operation with a giant vice in my face to keep my mouth open. I heard, hit him again, woke up a second time as he was yanking on my jaw, and heard, what the fuck, hit him again. The gas wore off right as he was cleaning up. I vaguely remember chatter during the procedure, too.
Oh my god.
Sounds like that doctor was pretty pissed off that day.
Go to sleep, motherfucker.
God damn it. Hit him. That's an interest.
Just hit him with the shoehorn, damn it. Oh, you know what's interesting too? Like the people that have like the people that have like live lives while they're under.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy too. Like they wake up and they're like, what the fuck happened? Like I had a whole family. Like what the fuck?
Oh, I know. That is weird. I haven't had that experience. I've only had the experience of waking up and not remembering a thing. And then being tired and wanting to go back to sleep.
I read this story that I don't think it's real. I think it's fiction. But what had happened in the story was, this man was like, skiing. He was doing some sport. He got hurt and he was in a coma. And no, he was in the hospital recovering. And then the doctors were saying like, oh, he's recovering super fast. Like he looks promising. He's gonna get out here early. You know, everything was going up and up.
Yeah.
And then he went through therapy, and then eventually he got back to the sports and his hobbies, right? And then like, but he, after a couple years after the incident, he kept having dreams where he would wake up in the hospital after the incident, and his wife and his family would be there like comforting him or whatever. And then like he would go, oh, this is just a dream, you know, I'm gonna wake up soon. And then he'll wake up back in it, you know, in his life or whatever. And then years passed by, and he was like turning old age and stuff like that. And he says that he would hear random hospital noises, like if he's like sitting down reading a book, like just relaxing, he would hear hospital noises, like chatters and beeps and like, you know, just regular hospital noises, like when you're in there when it's not busy. It's just like
background noise.
Yeah, and he would remember he still had these fucking dreams. And then one day, he had the dream, and it wasn't a dream. He woke up, and he was like coming out of a coma.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he was coming out of a coma, and they're like, "Oh no!" Like, it's like, "What happened? Like, this is a dream." It's like, "No, this is real. Like, you were in an accident, and you're in the hospital. You've been in a coma for 3 months or whatever." And they're like, and then he had to redo like all his therapy that he essentially dreamed, right?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine. I'd probably want to die at that point.
I'd be so pissed. I already did this. You're fucking all upset.
I'd be like, I had this whole other life. Just let me go back. Put me back under. Just keep me on. Dude. Keep me on tap. I don't know. Let me go back to the Matrix. I want that. I want that universe. Thanks.
The Matrix. Oh shit.
I couldn't imagine. That would be so depressing.
That would be, yeah. That would.
Like I could imagine that would probably like drive someone to kill themselves. I honestly think it would.
It depends.
Depending on how.
To me, it depends what age I came to. Like if I was like in my 70s or 80s when I finally like woke up from the coma. Like fuck yeah, second chance. You know, like redo, homie. But if I was still like in my mid 30s where all I did was recover fully and then I have to do that again, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. I pass.
Just the whole thing, nope.
Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. That sounds like something that would actually happen, though.
Yeah.
Is this person that woke up during heart surgery?
Oh, dude, that's scary.
I was having a triple bypass. They were taking a graft artery out of my arm, and I woke up and heard the sounds of the operating room. People talking, metal clanking against metal. Heard someone say, "Close up that arm now." And I was still thinking it was over. I had made it, but I still couldn't open my eyes, and my mouth felt like it was full of tubes, and my arms were strapped down. Then I heard the man's voice again, and he said, "Okay, I'm going into the chest." Well, that got my attention. I had agreed to the open heart surgery, but I didn't want to be awake for it. I tried moving as hard as I could to let them know I wasn't asleep. I felt pressure on my chest, and it moved. As the pressure moved, I felt coldness where the pressure was as he was cutting into me. I worked as hard as I could to get moving, and I was able to flex my butt and leg muscles just a little bit. I started doing that in rhythm and got the gurney rocking a bit, head to toe. The pressure stopped, and I heard, "This man is not asleep." Someone else said, "Oh." In about 3 seconds, I was out again and didn't wake up until in recovery.
God damn.
After I was moved to the ICU and the hoses were pulled out of my throat, the doctor asked everyone to leave the room, and he asked me what I remembered. I told him about when I woke up. He said the art-to-art surgery is keeping you enough under the anesthesia so you don't know what's going on, but not so deep that they can't get the heart started again. I'm just glad he noticed I was awake before he started spreading the ribs. Could you imagine?
That's what I'm saying. They have to break your sternum and open that shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. He passed.
That's crazy. I'm glad he fucking did. Oh.
Could you imagine how much effort? Like, oh my god. Even just like we've talked about the sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And like I've had enough of that experience to know like that would be utterly terrifying, because when you have sleep paralysis, you literally can't move or scream or anything. And for me, the ones that I experience, I can't breathe either. Like it's literally suffocating. Like I slowly stop being able to breathe, probably because I'm panicking.
Yeah.
I can't
Most
move.
likely, yeah.
And so I'm just like, how, when you're literally drugged, like that's not even drugs. That's just me just existing and not functioning as a human. That's just me short circuiting. Like if I'm in surgery and they're drugging me, I'm not gonna be able to do shit. I'm just gonna lay there terrified. And nah.
Yeah, that's
I really hope I don't ever need surgery again. I've had enough in my lifetime. Glad he got the attention.
Oh my god, that's intense. Oh, I just picturing it in my head like the fucking scalpel.
Oh yeah, all the things.
Beep, beep, beep. That's like the most profound sound you can like ever like. Beep.
Yep, I hate that sound. Drives me nuts.
It's crazy. 'Cause I just had my younger brother was in a motorcycle accident. He fractured his hip, and he like the way he told me, he's like, yeah, I just fractured my hip. Like I just pictured like a little crack like going a little bit like right.
Oh.
Nah, like a chip of his hip like was removed. And, he showed me the X-rays and it's like you can see like the piece of bone, and they had to put the bone back, and then they put screws in it to hold it down so it could heal in place. Which I think is crazy that our body can reproduce bone.
I know, right?
That is crazy. Our body's amazing.
Well, and like women that are pregnant, which I know I talk about that a lot, but I'm a woman been pregnant. What can I say? It's my only experience, really. Like your body can regenerate too.
Oh yeah, like the baby cells.
Because the baby has all the stem cells, and like they've found women that have had like liver damage, like their liver is repaired while pregnant.
Yeah, I started. I know what you're saying. I've read a couple things too where they.
Well, I mean, like our liver already automatically like repairs itself. That's why we can do like partial liver transplants and stuff. But there's women that like they have cancer, and their cancer kind of goes away because the baby like fixes it.
Yeah, the stem cells. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is so crazy.
Ooh, this one's a 14-year-old that woke up. Could you imagine me 14? He was getting his elbow replaced. I was 14 getting my elbow replaced. I woke up and started choking on the airway tube down my throat. All of the people in the OR just kept saying, it's okay, we're finished. Then they took the tube out and I was knocked back out. When I was in recovery, the surgeon, or someone else, I was out of it, told me that I woke up halfway through. They said my surgery was finished so I wouldn't freak out any more than I already did. The man asked if I felt anything, and I told him I felt my throat was extremely dry and I didn't like all of those people hovering over me. He was relieved to know I didn't feel half of the bones in my arm were gone. Oh my God. It was a 15-hour surgery because the part they had didn't fit, and they had to get a new part flown in while I was under. What?
Wow, that's crazy.
I woke up while everybody was just kind of sitting around making sure I was still under. I wasn't as physically uncomfortable as it was panic inducing. You're out completely, then you wake up thinking you've been abducted by aliens. So they just left his arm like boneless?
Well, yeah,
like a fillet.
Damn it, Phil, you ordered the wrong one.
Could you imagine? Like, yeah, wrong size. Getting it flown in. holy crap. I couldn't imagine being a mom.
Amazon driver.
If I was a mom, like, if my daughter was in for like, she had surgery when she was like 10, 11, 10, 8, 9 or 10, whatever. If they came into the waiting room and said, hey, by the way, this like 5-hour surgery is going to be a little bit longer because we don't have the right part. And then
Amazon shipped
like
the left one, not the right one.
15 hours later, like, I couldn't imagine having my child under that long for I mean, I don't want to say simple procedure because the whole like elbow replacement, not a simple procedure, obviously, if they're removing half the shit in your arm. But like, could you imagine as a parent knowing your child's just being kept under until further notice?
That's crazy. How old did you say he was?
14.
That means he's not done growing. Do they have to replace the elbow again later?
I mean, possibly. I would think. I mean, yeah, I would imagine so. But it's just the elbow. It's not like the bone, like in the full arm. It's just the joint. So I don't think the joint would grow as much as like the bones in the forearm or bicep.
I'm pretty sure they do the math, but I was just curious.
Well, I know that's why. Like, my oldest is gonna need a jaw replacement at some point in her life.
Oh.
Because like one side, like her arthritis has really deteriorated it so poorly, but they basically are like, we don't want to replace it until we absolutely have to because she's not done growing yet.
Yeah.
So like the soonest we would ever replace it would be probably 16, 17, because then she's mostly done growing.
Yeah.
But I told her, I was like, we're just going to put it off as absolutely long as possible. One, I don't want to deal with her fussing about it.
Yeah.
2, I'd rather she be old enough to make the decision herself and understand the consequences, the implications, and the pain. And hopefully, it's like right now, if she was to do it, oh, fuck my life. No, I would lose my mind trying to help her manage her pain and be okay with it.
Yeah.
I know for me, I would do it, but I would not be the best at it. I'm not a patient mother as I should be.
That's all right.
I do my best, but yeah. So, but no, I would freak out if my kid was in surgery for 15 hours and half of that was just waiting for a part to be flown in because they got the wrong size. And then to find out they woke up during it, like
anything that's can go wrong will go wrong.
I'm so glad I didn't have any memory of waking up during any of my surgeries that I've had. Because I had to be put under for my wisdom teeth being taken out too. And I don't remember anything about that. I barely remember having it done. I was also in like middle school when that happened.
Oh.
I had a lot of surgery in middle school for I'm like, huh. Oh my god. This person was put under for their wisdom teeth. At some point during the procedure, I woke up feeling all numb and extremely tired. I could barely move a finger. I was a bit weirded out when I saw 3 people with blood-covered hands poking around inside my mouth with strange tools. I didn't feel any pain, though, since my mouth was probably shot up full of Novocaine. I kind of wanted to not be in the situation, so I mustered all of my strength to twitch my finger a bit. Either the doctor or one of the nurses noticed, and a nurse went over to the IV drip and fiddled with it. I closed my eyes again and went back to sleep. Next thing I know, I wake up with my mouth full of gauze. I'm still really tired, and the nurse is telling me to stay seated so the doctor can bring my mom in here and talk to us. That's all crazy. In all, it wasn't that bad as far as waking up during surgery goes. I wouldn't want to wake up during surgery again, though.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just having all these like bloody hands coming at your face?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm assuming like as soon as you come to, like you're not, the first thing you don't go is like, oh yeah, I'm in surgery. Like nah, like you're just coming to, right? Like what's going on? Like I can see why you would think you got abducted because you're just like paralyzed and you're in place and there's instrument and people like inside of your body. There's a lot of
teeth. There's a lot of teeth stories. I feel like they don't sedate you as much for dental, and that's probably why.
Oof.
So I guess if you're going in for dental work, don't don't be too paranoid, but maybe be a little paranoid. Because a lot of these are
I
dental
know.
stories. It's
I still have a lot of
crazy.
dental work need done. I
Nope,
don't even
don't
want to
freak
think
out.
about
It'll
it.
be okay.
No,
It'll be
I kind of
okay.
I go into it going, nah, fuck it.
It's the worst that
Get it over
happens.
with. It's gonna be a fucking memory soon. So just get over with. And then I'll
I woke
walk
up
out.
during this story. I woke up during foot surgery. I had conscious sedation and local anesthesia in my foot. I remember feeling super chilled out. I felt like the surgeon, all the people in the room, and I were buddies. They were sawing off part of my bone, and I remember thinking that felt kind of good, like a foot massage. I
Oh
asked the
God.
surgeons if I could see what they were doing, and they said something like, no, go back to sleep. I think I asked this question more than once during the surgery.
That's
I remember waking up right after the surgery as they were preparing to transfer me to the recovery room. The surgeon said something like, haul your ass into the stretcher. Not gonna lie, it was pretty awesome. Foot massage?
You just reenacted that scene from Saw where he used to fucking saw off his own foot.
Oh my god. Like, we're all buddies here. We're cool. I could stay awake during my surgery. We could chill.
Oh God. I hope that never happens to me either.
Yeah, that is. Again, let me wake up and not feel anything, or let me not remember. I don't want to remember. I wonder if people like wake up during their MRIs and CAT scans that they get sedated for. Well, I don't think they really sedate people for CAT scans because those are pretty short, but like MRIs. I know my oldest, because she's had a lot of appointments, like when she was little, she did go in, they did sedate her for her MRIs because you can't move and they take like an hour.
Yeah.
So obviously the little kid. So I wonder if little kids wake up during those often. Obviously, my kid hasn't because she's never mentioned it, and she's old enough now she doesn't need sedation. They take like 20 minutes. But yeah, I just wonder. But they don't say anything because the kids don't know how to verbalize it.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Because, well, not even that. Because if you're under, like, how are you gonna verbalize it? You have to do like the thing.
Well,
the guy
well,
did
that's
where
what
you
I
have to
mean.
move
Like,
butt
I
cheeks.
wonder if maybe like kids after they go into it and they don't like they wake up just enough, but they can't say anything. Like those MRIs are loud. They're big banging noisy, and you're stuck in a tube.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And like usually, like if there's contrast, they're pushing this liquid in you that's really warm, and it just makes your whole body warm. Um, they do that for CAT scans too, but again, those are so short. I don't think they usually sedate kids. Because when my youngest had her CAT scan the other day when we were in the emergency room, she was like, they told us that they did a CT with contrast, and I remember having like contrast done for, I don't know, it was a PET scan or something. I don't remember, but she was like, after the whole thing was done, she's like, "Mommy, that made it feel really warm where I go pee."
Oh.
Because they put that contrast in it, just like goes through your whole body and everything just feels warm. It's weird. Probably the radiation or something. But yeah, I just wonder if kids like they don't necessarily fully wake up, but it gives them almost a fear, a phobia, and they don't understand like where it came from or why they have it. They just have it.
I don't know, but
I mean, we'll never know because they're not going to post their stories to Reddit.
not right away at least. Get older.
No.
I remember when I was 10.
Remember? Remember berries.
Remember?
I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
I wonder how rare it is to wake up during surgery. Like, is it? Ooh, what about? Oh, there's this person that had eye surgery.
Oh yeah, I was reading a couple of those.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Like, this person was the persons they were removing the eyeball,
Ooh.
the whole eyeball. So her anesthesia failed, leaving her awake but paralyzed for a 5-hour surgery
God
where the
damn.
doctors cut and gouged to remove her right eye.
Oh no.
Oh. You're sure you'll die if you can't let them know you're awake, she said. And you think that'd be fine too, as long as this ends. And then you think maybe you did die and maybe you're in hell.
Oh no.
It was in 1998. She did get a settlement for it. Because she can't sleep. She has to sleep sitting up because laying down triggers her.
That sucks.
Do you imagine eye surgery? That would be.
Oh no.
I wish there was a way they could do something to make sure that it doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. It's not an exact science. Like,
I guess there is something. This article talks about because this person has dedicated their life to preventing it, so that no person has to go through it again. And there's you could use a brain activity monitor.
That sounds expensive.
They say it's not. It's actually relatively inexpensive. The technology is approved by the FDA. The theory is that if a patient is awake but paralyzed, they'll show a high level of awareness to alert the anesthesiologist. The research is inconclusive on its usefulness, though, I guess. They led a study that estimated 100 patients a day experienced some form of awareness during general anesthesia. In severe cases, it appears to affect people in a very nasty way, though. Just being aware. So, some of it's hard to tell if they're relatively minor awarenesses, such as just coming out of surgery ends, or anything. Just that little hint, because you're not brain dead while you're knocked out. You're just mostly dead. It does not. We want to make sure you're not feeling anything. It does not replace a human being monitored your vital signs, but it's another tool used to make sure you're properly sedated. So I guess they do use it a little bit, but not. It's not as common.
We'll see.
Yeah, you would think science is far enough along that we would have something more.
That's what I was
available.
How's it so yanky teeth out of fucking heads with pliers?
So the machine itself is under $10,000. They could literally afford that with one surgery. They could bill it to one person and it'd be paid for. And the single-use monitors are $17 a piece. When was this article written? Because that might count. It was in 2004. So, with inflation, that machine's probably now $20,000. And the single-use ones are probably $60 a piece, which still is relatively inexpensive for an extra layer of comfort to know that you're not gonna wake up. I feel like
yourself.
I feel like going forward, now that I see that this is just, it's uncommon, but it's not 0%. So it's not uncommon enough for me that I feel like going forward, I would ask the hospital what they have in place to monitor you, what their protocol is for if you do wake up during surgery, or how they prevent you. I can't find the right words. Like how they monitor you. Yeah, God, my brain it's lagging. They're there, but they're just not coming out right. Asking them what What's safe to stop laughing? That's not helping me right now. You're making it worse. What fail safes they have in place to make sure you stay asleep or to know if you're starting to wake up so they can prevent that from happening when it's not time yet.
No, I hear you, but I don't think they're ever gonna have something like that.
Well, no, I feel like every hospital has something to some extent at this point. Because again, it's a liability if you wake up during surgery and shit's going wrong. Like, you're not supposed to. I understand you sign your life away regardless. But I feel like at this point, this day and age, this article is 20 years ago and they had a somewhat solution. There's got to be something.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I would ask my surgeon.
Yeah.
Say, hey, what do you guys do?
let's just crank up the juice. Hit him again. Hit him again, Larry.
I'm gonna look and see if there's a. Oh, it's called twilight sedation. That's when the minor sedations that they use for like colonoscopies and stuff.
Oh.
That's just teensy bits. And then there's like the epidural spinal block or nerve block, which just numbs the area. I was just seeing if they had any news on when they. Interesting. I didn't find anything yet, but I found this article just totally random. Marijuana users may require 10 times more anesthesia than non-users to stay asleep.
Stay asleep?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So if you're having surgery and a doctor asks if you use marijuana product, be honest. Using marijuana, smoking, vaping, eating edibles can affect how anesthesia works. Chronic users who use it at least once a week may require more anesthesia than those who do not. I didn't know that.
The more you know.
It may take longer for recent or chronic users to empty the contents of their stomach. During surgery, may be more prone to having stomach contents, which is not good.
So you have to be fasting? Is that what they're saying?
Well, I mean, you're supposed to fast before surgery because if there's anything left in your stomach, it could definitely come into your throat and then it gets sucked into your lungs before the anesthesiologist can insert the breathing tube and you get a lot of problems. It's not good when that happens.
Yeah.
That's why when like they do when I had my sedation for my second round to stop the bleeding from my tonsils, it was pretty scary because I had just eaten. Probably what I ate caused me to bleed massively. But yeah, so if you have pre-existing heart disease, there's a risk of heart attack if you use marijuana within 60 minutes of receiving anesthesia. We want to know who would be taking a hit 60 minutes before surgery. Like, that's terrible. How often do I have to smoke weed to get the effect of anesthesia during surgery? What? Oh, I see. They weren't asked. That question was worded really poorly. That sounded like somebody was like, "So how much do I have to do?" Not like, "What point do I need to be worried?"
Yeah.
Huh. Chronic use is listed as once a week over an extended period of time. Does that make me a chronic user? Like, what's an extended period of time? Like years? Months?
I don't think years.
I mean, I don't use it that often. Maybe once a week. Sometimes twice. Definitely just I don't work tomorrow. And I want to sleep. Huh. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, it looks like. Oh, they do. This place at least says that they use brain waves.
To monitor or to put you to sleep versus.
To monitor sedation during surgery, but they only use it when we think that somebody has ingested a mind-altering substance. We monitor brain waves to tell us exactly where the person is in terms of consciousness.
Ooh, that sounds fancy as fuck.
So basically, I just need to tell them I'm a chronic drug user, and then I will get my brain waves watched during surgery. Is what it sounds like.
Freaking.
Which works for me because I don't really need the narcotics. So if they want to think I'm a drug user and just give me regular shit for pain, I accept. If that's the price I have to pay to make sure I don't wake up,
Yeah.
I accept. I don't need hard drugs. I'm okay. You can pretend I'm an addict. I accept.
You can pretend.
I can pretend to be a drug seeker. Not a drug seeker, but a drug user. Just so I get my brainwaves watched. I feel like they would lie to me if I said I just wanted my brainwaves watched. I feel like yeah, sure, we'll watch them. Yeah, no problem. Could be asleep. It don't matter. But if I said, hey, I use drugs, they're going to want to monitor so that I don't sue them.
Hey, I use drugs.
I take opiates and I smoke pot all the time. None of which is true, but I can pretend just so I can make sure I'm safe. Interesting. Well, now I know that took a little turn, a little off subject, but important. Marijuana withdrawal? That's a thing?
Oh, of course that's the thing.
I don't know. I don't use the stuff that
Oh.
often.
No,
don't
but it's
ever.
like it's not as bad as like other drugs.
I didn't know
But
there was actually a withdrawal. Like you actually get dependent on using it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's really controversial topic because a lot of people.
Yeah, I know it is. Like a lot of people say, like, well, that's what I've heard. Like people say that it's not addictive or whatnot. But honestly,
it's more of a,
anything cookies can be addictive for
Yeah.
fuck's sakes. Everything's addictive.
It's more of that and less of like an actual physical like dependency. It's more of like a mental like attachment. Like
yeah, but I didn't realize there's like a withdrawal from it.
Oh,
Like I know
yeah.
if I drink coffee every single day and then I stop drinking it, I'm going to have a caffeine withdrawal. Obviously, I get a headache. I don't feel good for a couple of days until I start drinking coffee again.
Yeah,
It's
kind of like that. It's kind of like that. It's
I didn't think marijuana worked that way. But I've never used it I've never used it even on a daily basis for any period of time. It's usually like once, like I said, maybe once a week maximum. And even then I'm using like such a small dose, it's just enough to help me go to sleep. I'm not using it to get any. Well, maybe I am getting high and that's what it does and I just fall asleep. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling. I just know that it makes me tired and I want to take a nap, and I do. So, like, I don't. So, I didn't realize that there's a whole, like, withdrawal from it. If you take it frequently,
yeah.
I guess. Interesting.
Indubitably, yes.
I'm learning so much.
God.
Interesting. So, long story short, that we figured out, there is other things they can do to monitor you. And if you are a frequent lettuce dabbler, tell your doctor because you might need more drugs than you realize to get yourself knocked out. And I hope I never wake up during surgery.
Oh, that's one of the things I wish.
Roaches in the operating room?
No. That doesn't sound sterile at all.
No. And then there's the patients that like get stuff left behind.
Oh yeah, like rags and like knives and surgical stuff.
Yes, scissors. Maybe a junior mint.
A junior mint.
It's a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
Okay, I was hoping you got the reference. I'm like, shit. Maybe you don't know.
Funny.
Kramer and his junior mints.
I like when he twitches. Making fun. I like. There's an episode he goes, "Mi casa su casa." It's like, what's mine is yours. And he just walks in. He's like, "Oh yeah." Like the apartment's empty. He's just like,
All right.
"All right." But I think that's gonna conclude today's episode.
Yeah, I know. I found this thing for German apple pie.
Oh god, dude,
My ADD's kicking in. I'm looking at it. I'm like, ooh, apple pie. What?
I've been craving dessert for the longest.
I made marshmallows today.
You made marshmallows? What does that mean?
Yeah, like I made marshmallows. Like I used to make them. I don't want to say all the time, but I made them.
Like, for me, marshmallows is an ingredient. You don't make marshmallows; you use them.
Well, I made them because I remember them being delicious when I attempted to make them a few times. It was back, God, it was like 2010, 2011. Like it was a while ago. And I made them and they were delicious. And I realized my poor children, I've never actually made them marshmallows.
Oh.
Like Elisa doesn't remember. I think I made them when she was probably like 3, maybe 2. So she doesn't remember eating them or tasting them. And Elena's never had them. So I was like, how have I got... It's literally 4 ingredients. Maybe 3. Water, I guess, is an ingredient. So yeah, like 4 ingredients.
I mean, yeah.
It's just gelatin, water, corn syrup, and sugar. The one I used to make used egg whites. I didn't bother with that because I didn't want to freaking do that and make them all cook them, but keep them liquidy. Too much work.
Liquidy.
But yeah, because you have to like steam them basically and get them to 160 degrees so you don't get salmonella, and then you can put them in. I didn't want to deal with that shit, so I just left the eggs out, and they still turned out beautiful and fluffy. I made them coffee flavored, so they taste like a vanilla coffee.
I want dessert. Can you not?
And then I'm not done yet. And then I toasted them. I was sitting there.
You like that TikTok video where he like makes he makes
I'm gonna actually send you a picture.
Like, where he'll
anyway,
he'll make pancakes out of cereal, and then he'll make a cereal out of the pancake he made out of the cereal. And then he'll make an ice cream, and then he'll make a shake out of the ice cream he made out of a pancake.
Oh, I want to do that. That'd be so fun. I know. I see all these TikToks of people like starting to make their own cereal and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I could make my own Rice Krispie treats, and then I make my own marshmallows, and I put them all together, I would have literal homemade Rice Krispie treats. But anyways, so the marshmallows, I toast them. And you know how like when you toast a regular marshmallow, they're still pretty spongy in the middle?
Yeah.
These ones are creamy. I sent you a picture on your phone. Look at it.
On messaging or?
Text message.
Okay. Hasn't came in yet.
Give it a second.
Computing.
But yeah, so I made marshmallows, and now, I have this big old pan of marshmallows to eat.
What do they coat those with? Because
I coat mine with just cornstarch. You can use like a cornstarch powdered sugar mixture, but the marshmallows are already so sweet that I feel like the powdered sugar is an extra unnecessary step.
Yeah.
So I just use cornstarch and I just roll it around in there. Although if I make chocolate marshmallows, I'd probably use cocoa powder. So now I'm on a marshmallow kick and I am here for it. Mm-hmm. The pictures come through yet?
No. Oh yeah, did. He actually made those. That looks really good.
Look how creamy that looks on the
Yeah,
inside.
it does.
It is so yummy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, but no, I was on the phone with my boyfriend, partner, whatever the fuck you want to call him, and love of my life. I told him, I was like, oh, I'm so sad I don't have my butane torch, because I used to have a butane torch for like creme brulees and stuff.
Oh,
Like, I want to
these are so
toast
good.
these. I wanted to toast these, and I was like, I don't have anything to toast them with, and I'm like, I got my little lighter. But then, genius me, about 5 seconds later, I'm like, oh shit, I have a gas stove. I'm a smart one.
Oh wow.
So I toasted it over my stove. But yeah. So now I have marshmallows, and I want to do lots of things with them because they are delicious and squishy and fluffy. I want to put them on my coffee. That was my original goal, because I make coffee with milk and creamer and all that. Like, I make it all fancy. And I was like, coffee with a coffee flavored marshmallow, like hot cocoa with marshmallows,
Ooh.
coffee with marshmallows. So
We need to stop because I have like a.
Sorry. You want me to mail you some marshmallows, Teddy?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I want? I want peanut brittle with chocolate. Like,
That's
but
good.
it has to be like salted, like peanut brittle. Or
You gotta make it with salted.
Was it salted caramel peanut brittle? I don't know. I had a piece once and it's like fucking crack.
Peanut brittle is delicious. I've never actually made it, but I have eaten it a lot, and it is delicious. But I get frustrated with trying to make sugary candies, because I just get sick of using my candy thermometer. Like, even these, you're supposed to like boil it to a certain temperature, all the sugar and stuff, and I was just like, pass. Set my timer for a minute, 2 minutes. I'm like, yeah, it looks good.
You can't eyeball it. It has to be precise.
You're not supposed to eyeball it, but I did. Still worked. So, joke's on them.
Gotcha.
Anyway, in conclusion,
Don't get surgery.
don't get surgery. Ask lots of questions. And
I feel like tell your doctor, like, hey, if we see this sign that I'm making, I'm awake. Like a safety word, something.
Don't tape my eyes shut. It's like question number 1: do you tape my eyes shut? Question 2: am I strapped down? Question 3: are my brain waves being watched? Step 4: I use drugs. I need extra monitoring.
So far-fetched. Are my brain waves being watched?
So yeah, good luck on any surgeries that you guys have coming up.
This will conclude today's podcast episode.
We should probably have a trigger warning.
If you guys are
Don't listen to
listening,
this podcast if you're having surgery soon.
oh my god! If you're listening to the audios go up on Sundays. We try to record these live over at Twitch at twitch.tv/rolling thick. Come join us Tuesdays or Wednesdays, 7:30 Pacific time. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you'd like to contact us, you can email us with your stories, comments, concerns, suggestions, questions at the Rolling Thick Podcast at Gmail. If you follow us on TikTok, we follow back. You can also hit us up there at the Rolling Thick. We're also on Instagram as the Rolling Thick. And what am I missing? Oh, if you can look us up, you can look up the podcast up on Apple Podcasts. Damn, I'm blanking it. Apple Podcasts,
Google Podcast, Amazon, Pandora,
Spotify. We're on Audible.
Basically everything that has podcasts.
Yeah, anything you can find podcasts. Just Google the Rolling Thing, you find us. And what else? That's it, huh?
I think that's it, yeah.
If nobody loves you, we love you.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
I want snacks.